All right, bam. So we are back again with should be I'm losing track of entries. Whatever. It's the newest, latest edition of the JA Movie News. We're talking about the biggest, the freshest, the largest movie news in the world of cinema. And first off, you guys asked a lot of user questions, so this mostly it's just going to be us answering your guys' user questions. However, there are two topics that some of you guys have been screaming at me about, so I want to address those first. So with that being said, let me bring up a little picture for the first topic here, which is about a little tiny 2017 film called Justice League, which apparently today it's been made public that they're going to start shooting in April. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. I'm going to probably share the unpopular opinion, but I really don't give a damn. I mean, like, it's cool, but like for one, we all knew this was coming. Like, if this was a situation in which, like, I had no idea that Justice League was ever going to exist, and like today I found out that like it was greenlit, they're shooting, and I found out the cast like next week, I'd be like, oh, but that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's cool. I mean, the confirmation of it, I guess. But for me, I was just like, Mostly that stems from the Batman versus Superman problem. I mean, I'm still not like, I'm excited to see the fucking movie, but like I feel like it could still easily flop, and we could easily have like Spider-Man 3 situation. So for me, it's like, man, like I just want to worry about Batman versus Superman. You know what I'm saying? Because if they don't get that right, then everything else literally is just irrelevant for me personally. Because if you can't get that right, then how can I be excited for you know? But what are your thoughts on this?
So for me, the Justice League news, I think I'm actually really ecstatic by it because of the fact that Warner Brothers, they've been putting a lot of worry and backlash about Batman vs Superman and proceeding forward with it and whether or not how they're going to change the dynamics of it. And I was like, you got to be confident in your product. Like, if you're saying, you want to shoot for this time frame, you've already let everybody know months and months ago, this is around the year you're going to do it. I was like, the worst thing they could do is kind of like wait and then do it. And I was like, I'm glad they're finally public with that, as well as the knowledge that Batman vs Superman is going to have like a 2-hour and 40-minute runtime. Like, I thought that was also ecstatic news because I was worried that all this content, like, this is going to have to be around a 3-hour movie just for this to work out anyway. But I think what cemented the news being great for me is when I saw this. Let me see if I can put it up. Hold on. So this right here totally geeked me out. Zack Snyder, maybe 20, I guess now about an hour ago, put this up, deep in it with Jason Moore, Justice League, right? Now in the back left, you can freaking see like the Flash costume. You can see right in front of that Aquaman's costume. To the right, that looks like a rendition of a different version of Wonder Woman's costume. And then you got Batman's cowl. And like the realization set in for me is the fact that I'm going to freaking be able to get to see something that I never thought possible, which was a real Justice League movie. It's kind of like, it's having the same like effect like I had with Batman vs Superman got the news that it did. Like, this is going to be a reality. I can't believe this. So I think that for me, I'm overexcited because like I'm such a fan of this, but I think that they had to make some kind of like note that, look, we're gonna proceed forward with this, like, because I was worried about that. They were talking more about Wonder Woman than they were about the Justice League movie, and I was like, come on, dude, like, be serious about what you're trying to do.
And to be clear, like, I can't, like, bruh, like, Justice League is real. I mean, this is extraordinarily exciting, bro. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I mean, this is the type of shit that me and my cousin used to play with toys about. You know what I'm saying? Little toy figurines, the Batman. Anyway, But for me, I just felt like the announcement was just so like. I mean, the picture is kind of cool. I mean, there's some cool Easter eggs in there, but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The announcement was just, it was alright. You know what I'm saying? If it were me personally, I just would put together like just a title card only, like 25-second fucking teaser trailer. Well, announcement trailer. Sorry, announcement trailer. I should say. Now something like that would have got me extra because the fucking what Star Wars did for Episode 8. I mean, it was so fucking simple, but I love that announcement. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's very similar to what's happening here, but I just felt like it was facilitated a lot better because even though we saw nothing new, we gained nothing more going in than when we left. But like, it was just like, oh my god, this is awesome. This was just like, hey niggas, it's happening. There's a Twitter pic. You know, I don't know. But there was also something else happened with the Marvel, but I think we might get to that next time because you guys actually had some really detailed user questions. So I think we should jump into those. For example, let me bring up the web page. Hold up. Let's see. All right. And our first question that we're going to tackle is from Abdul. And their question is, what's your opinion on Marvel Studios basically remaking the same movie every year with a different title and the same old bland-ass formula? Of course, Guardians of the Galaxy would be an exception. Well, that was kind. Let me see. Remaking the I don't know. I really don't agree with. I mean, I can see where you're coming from, but I don't really agree with this sort of mentality of any storyline. To be honest, I mean, you could sort of generalize most movies coming out today in that sort of light. I mean, if you really think about it, every single film that's coming out this year is really stemming from something pre-existing in the past. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like there's no movie that's going to come out this year or stepping forward into the future that's going to be completely original. That is never going to happen. For me personally, the only thing I can say is that there are no more original ideas. There's just not. If you sit in your room and you try to come up with a plot synopsis that just a concept that it's never going to work. Every idea has been done already. However, every execution of an idea has not been done, and there's infinite possibilities there. There is always going to be a new way to tell a zombie story. Period. There's always going to be a new way to tell a superhero story, but as far as the concept of superhero zombies, I mean, it's too late, man. They've all been taken. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think the way I took his question is that the conceptualization of how, I guess, phase 1 and phase 2 of the Marvel movies, they kind of all seem the same. Specifically the phase 1, when I think about Iron Man 2, Iron Man 1, and I think about Thor 1, Thor 2, it's basically a rehash of the same exact thing. And I think that did get really bland and lackluster from a consumer standpoint, even just from original standpoint. That's why a lot more people are excited for the edgier and the different way that DC is doing stuff. But as you can see with Captain America, Civil War, as you can see with the Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Ant-Man, they're trying to break that mold or that conceptualization of our minds of we're not trying to do the same old thing. Even though I felt like Age of Ultron was really safe and they didn't go the way that they could have. And that kind of fit that same kind of old formula in a sense. I think that they're trying to make up for it, especially with these Infinity Wars, especially with adding people the Black Panther. I saw random footage of Doctor Strange freaking Benedict Cumberbatch walking down the street, you know, like full costume and everything. This is an amazing time, you know, and I think that Marvel is going to embrace that fully. The more that they grab onto these different characters, such as Spider-Man, like maybe they might eventually get somebody like Wolverine, you know? And so I think they're always going to be peaking and going outside the box. That's the reason why they're on top right now. They're kind of always trying to cater to the fans, but at the same time reinvent themselves. Like, how can we make these movies better, grittier, but at the same time keep to the heart and soul of the characters? So I think that they're going to definitely continue to push that change. But I can say the first phase 1 to phase 2 did get really lackluster for me in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, I actually really did. I actually really didn't like a lot of phase 1. For whatever reason, phase 2 they started to get really, really good. So I'm pretty excited now. But yeah, I don't know. I feel your pain, Abdul. But those are some of our thoughts on that. I mean, there's not really like a perfect answer to that, unfortunately. But I feel your pain. Next question is from Mr. Motherfucking Thomas, who has thoughts on the new episode 8 cast members. Oh fuck. Shit. I mean, how many new ones? How many new ones are there? Shit. Well, I think I need to do me a quick Google search, unless you've already jumped ahead of me.
Oh shoot. The girl from Jurassic Park, Benicio del Toro, and what's
shit, yeah. Hold up. Star Wars Episode 8. See, this is an honest answer you're about to get straight off the cuff. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Well, let's just start with Benicio del Toro, because I know he's supposed to be in it, as far as I know. He is in it. Okay. Yeah, well, first off, I think he's a fantastic actor. Obviously, there's no way to tell what kind of character he's gonna play, but I mean, shit, man. I'm trying to think of some of my favorite movies with him in it. When he played Che Guevara, Fear and Loathing, really liked him in Sicario. I'd have to do some thinking. But yeah, he's a great actor. I can't wait to see his talent in Star Wars. Also, we got Laura Dern up in this bitch, which is super dope. She is that her? I think she's in Blue Velvet, if I'm not mistaken, the David Lynch movie. Which, if she is, I know she's in The Master and Jurassic Park. Is she in Jurassic Park? I think that's her in Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that's it.
There's another woman who I swear to God looks just like her, and I get them mixed up all the time. Pisses me off. But either way, though, she's great, man. I mean, oh my gosh, she was in Inland Empire for any of you sweaty David Lynch fans out there. But I'm really excited about these 2 editions. What about you?
Yeah, dude. I've been a huge fan of Benicio del Toro probably since the movie Traffic. I think it was another one, something grams, 100 grams. Was that it? I forget the name of 21 grams. That was it. Yeah. Dude, he's just an awesome actor. He's a savage. I think that for him, I think there's speculation that he's going to be a villain. It's going to be a villain role for him in this one. Either way, just having his stage presence, I think, is really big. And then as far as old girl, like I have a speculation that she's going to be the mother of somebody. I'm just not sure who, but she's an awesome actress. And I think the other person was Carrie Marie Tran. I think that was her name. She's actually more of a YouTuber. I think she had her start in YouTube. So if anything's possible for us YouTubers out there, just to let y'all know.
Yeah. By the way, with Laura Dern, she was the one who was in Blue Velvet. For anyone who's seen that film, that dream sequence that she describes is one of my favorite quotes from any movie. But anyway, I don't know if there was anyone else. I think that might be it so far. But I mean, bring it on! I'm ready for episode 8, man. It's gonna be super sick. Let me get to the next question, which is from Lord. Okay, so I don't know if this is a question, but being a little older than some here, I think you might find some value in revisiting the classics. There was a Michael Mann retrospective in my area recently that got me thinking of his earlier films, Steve, Manhunter, etc. Perhaps you might consider reviewing a new classic. There's more to life than DC versus Marvel. This is true, my friend. Not a question, but interesting comments. I mean, to be completely honest with you, I mean, these superhero stuff is extremely possible. It's just extremely popular. That's why it's sometimes at the forefront of what we talk about. But shit happens. So might review some classics maybe in the near future. I mean, that's okay. So Observer, he's got, what are your favorite thriller / nerve-wracking films? Talking about the ones where you are shivering throughout the entire runtime, and anticipating what's going to happen. Mine are ones like American Psycho, Drive, The Zodiac, Kick-Ass, Prisoners, Nightcrawler, and lots of others that don't come to mind. All right, so some of our favorite thrillers. Damn, that's a good question. Favorite thrillers. I can tell you offhand, I think my favorite thriller still to this day is I can't remember if it was 2005 or 2006. I fucking forget now. But Ellen Page's Hard Candy is one of my favorite.
That movie was so awesome.
Flipping on the co-star's name, it was like Patrick something. I always forget his fucking last name. But Hard Candy is probably my favorite thriller of all time. I love that movie. Heavy. I think it's just an exceptional film. It's one of those movies. If you've never seen it, Ellen Page's Hard Candy, go online, find the official trailer. There's only one, and if it piques your interest, watch it, because my God, it's something else, man.
Yeah, that was really good.
I think like a close second, if we're talking about thriller, would probably be well, I'll say two more. I'll say David Fincher's Seven, and then I'll say Michael Mann's Collateral. I'm literally in love with Michael Mann's Collateral. I just adore that film. So I would probably name those three, because we can go on and on, but I would name those three. What about you?
Yeah, see, I'm on the fence because I love thrillers in general. Like Hard Candy was one of my favorites as one. Like even like was it Patrick Wilson that was in Watchmen with him and her? Like, dude, it was so tense. But I think that some that I'll probably name off is one is called the movie called Awake. It was actually with Hayden Christensen and Terrence Howard. Where basically Hayden Christensen's character, he's going through like a major heart surgery, and like you're getting the understanding that he's awake while it's happening, but he can't do anything about it. And it's like, it's so gut wrenching because you don't know what's going to happen. Another one that was really good was, what is his name? Oh my gosh. Paul Walker's Running Scared. Cause Paul Walker, like it's him, this little boy. And like throughout the whole entire film is shot excellently because you never know what is going to happen next as far as pacing is concerned. But the way he kind of described the question, he described like also like it could be implied like some horror movies. So I'll give y'all some that I'd recommend you check out. One is this one called Affliction. If you want to check out a movie that will literally frighten you and keep you guessing, like check this movie out. Go to the YouTube, check out the trailer for it, because you will not know what's going on till the very end. And I loved it. Freaked me out. These two, 28 Days Later, I actually really when first time I watched it, it tripped me out, but I loved it. Definitely highly recommend you check that out. And even Disturbia. Like Disturbia was kind of a guilty pleasure for me because it's so funny at times. But the beginning sequence of just how what happened to him with the car crash. It was so shocking that I was like, dude, anything can happen in this movie. And I love that dynamic about the movie. And so yeah, those are some guilty pleasures. But like you said, we can talk for hours on this.
Yeah. I was just trying to think of ones. I think the three that I mentioned are these are thrillers that I've seen like literally countless times. And real quick about 28 Days Later, because there's not many opportunities to ever get to talk about 28 Days Later. For me, I never thought of it. Well, I mean, it's just a straight up horror film for me. 28 Days Later is the undefeated favorite horror film of mine ever, period. Still to this very day. One of my like fucking most adored movies, period. So that was a really great question, though. Thanks for your question. Let me see. Well, fuck. I'm sorry, Shrek the Third. We can't get into that question because it's not movie related, but it was a good one. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Let's see. All right. So our next question, which might be our final one, but let's get to it nonetheless. All right. So what did you think about Sicario? I loved Benicio del Toro in the dinner scene. Oh my God, that was suspense. All right. Sicario with Roger Deakins on the cinematography. I love this film. I think I gave it an 8 or a 9, but it was one of the two. There's just something really, really effortlessly ominous about that fucking movie. Especially the opening sequence, which, not to give any spoilers, but there's sort of there's just a squat team moment that is incredibly shot. I'm trying to think of my shortest thoughts I can give on this movie. I mean, it's just a powerhouse of tension. Like, if you want to know how to create tension, I think that would be an extraordinary movie to watch and sort of take notes on. But what are your thoughts on Sicario?
Yeah, actually, Jor-Els actually recommended me check this out, and I ended up watching it. It became one of my favorites from last year. Like, it was excellently, beautifully shot. But like you said, Jor-Els, like, the tension is just real, man. Like, the highway sequence, I mean, everything that was going on with Benicio del Toro's character, you try to figure it out. Emily Blunt played it beautifully because she's kind of like a fish out of water, trying to just deal with the circumstances of how real, her world really is that she doesn't know about. I guess my comments on the dinner sequence, like, I didn't know what was going to happen, to be quite honest with you. Like, when I was sitting there watching the movie and it got to the dinner sequence, I was like, this can go one way or another. And I really didn't know how it was going to end, but I really enjoyed that film. I think I gave it like a 9 out of 10. It was definitely one of my favorite films from last year.
Yeah, that was great. By the way, shout out to the random John Bernthal scene. So fucking random. Let's see here. Do you want to try for maybe one more? Oh shit. Hey, do you want to try for maybe one more?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because this one sort of ties into some ground that we've already covered. So let's try to do one more. Okay. Give me one second.
Somebody's asking in the chat, what do we think about Drew McWeeney's comments about Batman vs Superman and Warner Brothers? What is he talking about?
I actually don't know offhand, but this person's question is: do you believe present and upcoming movies are starting to domino effect off of other movies, that really no one is being original and really catching the eye of the public, as if no one has imagination? No. I mean, I'm sure it's happening, but not like as substantially as like you're implying. I would say no, for one. Number two, I mean, this kind of ties back into what we were talking about before. Like, is there no original movies anymore? I think that's just a ridiculous sort of standpoint to have. I mean, again, like every concept has been like, it's already been created, man. Now it's just time to make the best executions of those concepts as we can. You know what I'm saying? I mean, every concept that is going to exist going forward and present, I mean, there's going to be some influence or something stemming from something in the past. So, I mean, there's just, I mean, it's how they got the idea in the first fucking place. You know what I mean? I mean, most ideas come from a place of influence, I mean, Robert Kirkman, I mean, motherfucker made The Walking Dead because, I mean, he had to have had some love of zombies prior to making the story, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, there's no way that he just went to Walking Dead like I have no concept of zombies, but I want to make a zombie story. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's always some sense of influence. I'm sure Stanley Kubrick fucking loved him some sci-fi when he's thinking about doing 2001 Space Odyssey. You know what I'm saying? So I think that there's a lot of original fucking films that we get each year. I just think that most people really don't take the time to look for them. You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's take last year for a second. I thought that It Follows was a fantastic original film. I mean, could you generalize and say that it's just Halloween from the 70s? I mean, you could, but come on, man. I mean, clearly the film had an influence, but I don't know. I mean, I think there's plenty of original films that come out each year. Like, I just seen The Witch, and that movie blew my balls out. I thought it was completely original, and there's been thousands of movies about witches, but whatever. I don't know. What are your what are your thoughts on this?
I mean, it's funny because I mean we come from different places than I guess normal consumers because we like directing stuff and coming up with conceptual ideas ourselves. For me personally, I think that concepts and ideas are still present. Like people just like they haven't caught on to that trend. Like there's a lot of underground stuff people have not seen, stuff overseas, stuff that people have ideas about now that are not being greenlit because they're not from the studio standard. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's something that's an idea that everybody knows trending now, then yeah, the studio's gonna be more inclined to give them that go. But if it's an authentic idea, they're not just gonna get the green light like that. But one I'll give a huge example for is Inside Out. Who would have ever thought about that? Like that's an awesome original film and idea. You know what I'm saying? Like it played so well. It was so smart. And I really loved it. I mean, and so I think that there is room for a lot up and coming directors and even like studios to come up with great things. But it just hasn't happened yet. And I think it continue to will, but I mean, I think as consumers, it does justice if we go and try to look for them. If we can try to go look for new ideas and fresh ideas, then they're going to be mass produced into the studio audience. So, I mean, I think it's up to us, really.
Yeah, I think people, if you want originality, I think you need to spend more time looking for it. And I'm just saying this just in general, not to the person solely who asked a question. But I'm just saying, if you want original ideas, then you need to start looking for them because they're for sure out there. I mean, you take a film director that we've spoken about, like Shane Carruth. You look at Upstream Color. You look at Primer. You know what I'm saying? How are these not original films? I mean, I think the Revenant is original. Or Joaquin Phoenix, The Master. I think is original. I mean, we could go on and on, but you just gotta look for them, and it would probably be best to track them through directors, not the films themselves. Like I hear so many people be like, oh, that POV horror film, it's gonna be so great. No, it's not, motherfucker. Like start looking at like who directed it. You know what I'm saying? Start following directors, and you'll really start finding some great movies. So. I don't know. But to be honest, we could do just a whole podcast on this. So, yeah. But I don't know. That's some of our thoughts on that. Any final thoughts before we close out?
Nah, man. I'm excited for what DC's got coming. Oh, I think that there was a rumor that sometime this week that Batman vs Superman tickets might go on sale. So if it is, I hope so. And then the second, there's a shout out to Nest Dog, DAWG. I see you in the chat, bro. I know you want to ask some questions. We're about to end out. But definitely feel free to leave your questions in the next video that Jor-El leaves on his channel. And we'll definitely come to your question as soon as possible. So a huge shout out to you, man. I know you want us to answer the question, but we're about to end out.
Yeah, and we are not done with the user questions. It's just we just maxed out on time. But we will definitely be getting through the rest of the next user questions on the next installment. So I guess with that, we're about to dip out, clock out. You know.
Later, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.